Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on.
Hey there, welcome back to the VRSpies. We're here to chat about virtual reality, everything and anything you want to talk about. And I hope you're having a lovely day, lovely afternoon, and it's time for the show.
Woo!
Yeah. Right on.
What an intro. What an intro right there. So as you can see, we got PSVR Frank here with us today. It's what an honor to have you on the show here with the VRSpies. Really, truly happy to have you with us. We haven't really talked much about PlayStation stuff, so hopefully you can give us somewhat of an inside there. I'm not sure who here has actually played PSVR besides PSVR.
I have.
Yeah,
I've
no,
tried it.
I have. Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, we've all played.
Hey, you guys better get your hands on some PlayStation.
Yeah, no, I actually built an entire PSVR demo station in the little gaming store at the university that I work for. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I got to represent.
That's the way
man.
to do it.
So.
Yeah, you got it. And it's easy to set
Oh,
up,
yeah.
easy to go, and
Yeah.
it's cheap cost. I mean, it's nice. Yeah,
good
they're
stuff.
good for demos.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I tried it too. I tried it.
You tried it too? What'd you like? What'd you play? What'd you play?
Billy's down with the kids. Billy's down with the kids.
I remember you making a video
No,
of
I
that
tried
early
it.
on, Billy. So.
Well, yeah, and actually, GameStop's got a sweet deal where you can like buy a used thing and then just return it like a week later.
Oh.
So I bought a old gen PS4 and then the PSVR, a first gen PSVR. Tried it for a week and then took it back, and then I got a PS4 Pro, but I haven't bought a PSVR since then. But it was pretty good.
It's much better on the Pro.
Yes, I had issues with tracking at my house, but I don't know. I didn't really try super
windows
hard
were open.
with the setup. Yeah.
The windows were open.
no
Yeah, the
light,
setup's
no
the
light.
thing. Yeah, that's what people have issues with. Is no one sets it up
Yeah.
right. They're like, oh, I got it out of the box. Oh, I just take the picture.
Right.
But if you take your time and set it up right and everything, you get very little tracking issues unless your light.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
reflective surface.
Well, Yeah, like most of the experiences I tried too worked fine, but I had more tracking issues with the Battlefront 2 or Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, the Rogue Squadron
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
it was drifting all the time. So weird.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, because that one's fun too. That was a big one that people were like, oh my god, I love VR.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars.
Resident Evil.
No,
scared
that's why I
poop
set
out
it
of
up.
me.
I mean, I had to see Resident Evil. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still
Yeah.
just, oh, come on, just put it on the Rift. So.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
With touch.
beautiful.
Oh
it'd
my
be
God!
awesome.
Could you imagine?
Beautiful.
Such a fun
Yeah,
game.
it's like it scared the crap out of me, and I've played every horror game out there, but that literally got me. I mean, it was just.
It's such a good AAA kind
It's
of
a good
title.
game.
For
Yeah,
VR.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it works so well in VR that it's like such a good proof of concept for anybody that's like, I don't know if a AAA is going to work in VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play that for 10 minutes, and you'll be sold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Pretty much everybody I know.
Are you saying it's
who played that.
scarier than Dread?
It's
God.
definitely scarier.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
And it's got the old.
That's
school
my
feel.
limit.
Atmospheric.
That's my limit on horror.
No.
Is Dread
Okay.
I haven't got above
Dude,
Dread
psycho
fear factor.
hillbillies wielding chainsaws
Yeah.
in your face. I mean that.
Cannibalism.
Oh,
Cannibalism.
yeah.
It's life-changing.
Oh, it's nuts.
It's
nuts.
life-changing.
pretty
Like
messed up.
spiders flying out of a lady's vagina. It's crazy, dude. It's
Oh,
It's
you
a
got to
great
try
game.
it, Chris. Because
I'll try it out.
Because I know you in horror games, Chris. So you have to try this.
Yeah, I've literally just wet myself thinking about it.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
I need
it's
to change
so
my
good.
trousers.
And all the DLC, for the most part, is playable in VR. So there's like 4 extra hours outside of the base game that you can play in VR too, with an
Wow.
entire like extra story that's much more like
God.
modernized. Yeah, it's a great
Just
game, dude.
Bring it to PC.
Oh,
Bring
okay.
it to PC.
I know. I don't know why. And you got to know that they're working on like Resident
Yeah.
Evil 2 now.
Yeah,
so
and that looked
that
incredible.
they don't care. I mean, it's not that they don't care, but that looks awesome. Yeah, it won like best in show, and so I don't know.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
gonna be
Well, I
fun.
do want to know. I want to know pretty much all the coolest games for PSVR. But before I ask that question, I guess there's one other thing that's on my mind too that you guys started talking about right before we started, speaking in the cast, and that was the sales leak. Well, what is this whole thing about the VR sales? Is that something that's important to who is it?
It's so, Gamehard and I were talking about, the sales numbers were leaked for most of the main, like, big VR games, like all their top, Steam sales, detailed numbers for how much people are selling.
Valve leaked it.
Yeah, it was.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is this
Or how many people are popular the games
Yeah.
really are. You know what I
Right,
mean? It's not
right.
sales, it's like numbers of people in them. Rec
It's like
Room is
player
number
numbers,
1.
yeah.
Without
it
a doubt.
was interesting to see Job
Yeah,
Simulator
yeah.
still up there at like number 2.
Yeah, but you got to think Job Sim was the first one to hit
That's
like
true. That's true.
$1 million. You know what I mean? That's that like VR game.
Yeah.
Job Simulator got to get in it, and it's awesome. But it's just like more of those like perfect demos. Spice Pirate Trainers up there.
All the old school classics are up there in the top. So
Arizona Sunshine for sure. Fallout VR is above Skyrim VR.
Now,
surprisingly. And I think
if I'm not mistaken, though, the Sariento dev came in there and he said that those numbers were not 100% correct, at least for their game. So,
yeah, he said
anyone got a link on that?
So who knows?
In Discord?
Yes, I can send you a link right now,
Sick.
sir. I'm looking at it while
Yeah,
we're
I'd
talking.
be curious to see it.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. There was a couple of Reddit posts about it today. So,
and we will definitely link this in the description of the video.
Oh,
for anybody
yeah,
checking this out so
absolutely.
you can see it as well.
No, I do find it interesting because
so
if you know,
it gives us a nice idea.
oh yeah, it gives you an idea of who's in what games. I think it's good that the numbers are out there for people to see. At the same time, hopefully, we get more innovation. We don't want people mimicking, exactly the games that are already out there. It seems like there's just a lot of the same things happening. Like, obviously, as soon as Beat Saber got big, we see a lot of other games coming out that have to do with music. So it's like, I still want to see new experiences being made. I love fighting games, but fighting doesn't always have to be there, One thing somebody talked about was like a scavenger hunt type game in VR where you could all walk around helping each other to get some kind of a accomplishment or using VR with other people socially for the betterment as well. I mean, I want to see some of those.
Like when we played The Take, that was awesome. I liked that concept in VR. That was something new, and Caleb killed me in that one. But that was cool. You know what I mean? That was you scavenger hunt made me think of that one where you just like hide something and then somebody else has to go
Spy
look for
versus
it.
Spy.
I like
dude, Spy versus Spy.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And I hope that it sells well, but sadly it probably won't sell too well. But people playing around with those kind of mechanics in VR is awesome because we've never done it before. Rather than just like Call of Duty.
Sorry.
Not that Call of Duty.
Well,
but
we do see it's like it comes in waves. You get the waves of the shooters, then you get the waves of the wave shooters, then you get the waves of the rhythm games. So yeah, seeing people explore new concepts is awesome.
Yeah, I love platformers.
Oh,
in VR a lot,
super
too.
good.
The other night I was just sitting down. I even tried Lucky's Tale finally. I was like, it looks kiddie. But dude,
No,
fun.
I tell you, I
it's
don't
cool.
because we play so many games as reviewers. It's very rare that I get to go back and finish one. And I finished Moss the other day, and just absolutely blown away by that game. I want more.
It's so funny you say that, and I'm not being devil's advocate here. I really just don't like that game. Isn't that terrible?
I heard great things about it too recently. So yeah,
oh my god, dude! I love that.
Well,
game.
it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. It's a totally beautiful game, and I get why people are wowed by it because you go into it and the environments are absolutely lovely. It's so well animated, but it's a game. It's a really, really formulaic platformer, and I cannot get on with it at all. I went through about 3 levels. I thought I am so bored, and I'll never go back to it. I uninstalled it. And
I was sold by the little cutesy
Yeah.
house. You know what I mean?
Well,
like I got my little buddy in front of me, and he's like going
Yeah,
around
he
doing
was
this
cute.
sign language that I don't understand.
Yeah, the sign language was
and the
interesting.
puzzles, I agree with you, are super simple, but the visuals are so clean and it's so like well.
And the
polished,
length of it kind of
Polished,
makes me
yeah.
think that it was kind of them testing the waters for what's to come with that. That I mean, they're creating.
is it not very long then?
I
Is
didn't
it-
find it to be very long. I mean, I finished it in a couple of nights. Just sitting down for 2-3 hours.
Yeah, if you ran through, you can knock it
Yeah,
out in a couple
exactly.
hours.
I mean,
there was
So
Yeah, because I'm never.
Chris, you almost beat
know
it,
me.
probably.
My
Yeah, you
Sorry,
probably
yeah,
almost
I
made it
almost got
through.
through.
Yeah.
No, but you know me. I mean, I don't like to be negative about VR titles, but and I haven't reviewed it for a reason. I just don't like it. And I got Penny to review it because Penny played it, and she did like it. She really enjoyed it. And so I'm not saying it's a bad game. It obviously appeals to some, but
I haven't.
and you were saying earlier. Sorry to jump in, but you were saying earlier about original concepts. I just want to give this guy a shout out because he was on our Discord earlier talking about that game, Jake and the Giants.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's a really nice concept because it's what do they call it, Caleb? Can you remember the where 2 people can play on the same computer at the same time?
It's local multiplayer,
I can't remember
but it's with one's with
yeah,
a headset, and one's
he
without.
had a term.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, so the giant is the guy in the headset, and your little guy in the screen is like he's the Jack, like Jack and the Beanstalk character who has to run around the environment, and as the giant you have to try and catch him. And I thought that was really cool.
Asymmetric multiplayer.
Asymmetrical
Asymmetric multiplayer.
That's
It's like
asymmetric
the
multiplayer.
I've heard it called couch co-op.
Couch co-op, yeah.
You know what
Couch
I mean?
co-op
Like
is a
VR
good
couch
word.
co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like it's again it's another kind of couch
No,
co-op
we've-
type thing. You're using the same PC.
And
I love that.
we've
I
had a
think it's
couple
great.
other games like that, you know, like the Late for Work. One guy's the Gorilla.
Diner
Diner
Duo
does
it too.
that.
PlayStation
Yeah.
VR has a
I
lot.
actually play
of
a lot of
Diner
those
Duo,
with my
yep.
kids because it's easier, you know. So
Well, it's funny you should say it, Don. That's exactly the
Yeah.
appeal to me. Like Jake and the Giant, I thought that is one I will definitely
Yeah,
play with my
absolutely.
kids. So you know, for VR mad dads
Yeah,
with kids, it's
absolutely.
a definite. You know, so I'll keep an eye on that one.
No, and it's
Yeah.
good for people that are like VR parties. Like what's that?
Keep talking.
Don't
Oh,
explode.
Keep Talking,
Don't
Don't
Explode.
Explode, yeah.
That's
You know what I
local.
mean?
Oh, that's so
yeah.
good.
That's local.
I love
It's
that.
great for a bunch of people play together because VR is such a like kind of solo thing for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, once you're in a social VR game, it's a different world. But like, I like that you're able. There are party
Yeah.
games. It's not like you just like, other than like Super Hot, like try the unlimited like over and over. I mean, that's the ultimate game. But yeah,
no,
that-
yeah,
that's
for
cool.
parties.
People
I
that do
mean,
that.
if you've got a couple of different headsets, I mean, we've had tons of fun playing like Loco Dojo, you know, setting people up like side
Yeah.
by side. And,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So, you know, stuff like that.
That's a great party game right there.
Oh, absolutely.
There needs to be
Yeah, I
more.
haven't even tried that one. I've heard good things about
It's
it.
just, I think it's obviously, like you guys said, it's great to have the games when those events happen. Unfortunately, those events don't happen nearly enough right now for a lot of developers to put the time into some of those games, which is unfortunate. But obviously, those things are going to change as time continues. I mean,
So
Yeah, we're working on it. I actually have a I'll show you guys some pictures and I'll link some when we finally have it up, but I'm working with a guy to make mobile VR
Oh,
kiosks.
awesome.
yeah.
So they can run like Vives. We're just waiting for the wireless Vive attachment so it'll like be a much better like system, but right now he's got it into like a nice like tablet touchscreen kiosk, and it's got like one of those little tiny Intel PCs that run basically just VR in the back of it, and we got it in a storefront, and I mean he's got the price down pretty low-ish, you know what I mean, to where we'll be able to get them out all
Nice.
over the place, which is nice.
Yes, that's,
And it runs Springboard, and like it's just when we put it out, and I'm in a tiny town, and people see it and they walk past, they're like, "Oh man, VR!" Oh, and even people even know Beat Saber.
Well, no,
it's
no,
crazy
yeah,
to me that people know
it's funny you
VR
mention that
games.
because I just got back from vacation. For many of my viewers that have been wondering where I was, I've been to Dallas and I've been in Bossier, Louisiana. But when we went to Dallas, we went up in top of Reunion Tower, and they had a VR kiosk up there with a Vive. Doing an experience,
Oh, yeah.
you know, a Reunion Tower experience, like a 360 cam looking out of the camera. It was pretty damn cool to just walk in there, and I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. So it really shows that it's kind of starting to branch out into that public. So
Oh yeah, it's great. I think we're gonna start seeing in the next few years, like especially even at like boat and RV shows. I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of like VR used for that
yeah,
kind of marketing.
no,
and
we
that
we
kind of
already have it here
advertising. Like,
where I live. We are huge Bass Pro, and they just have that Wonders of
oh
Wildlife.
yeah, Bass Pro's
and they're
doing
they're,
it.
they're
Yep.
using
Oh,
that
boy.
now to sell boats. I mean, it's you know.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
it's
genius,
absolutely
you know what I mean?
genius.
Like, why don't you sit on this boat and pretend like you're fishing, and this is what
Yeah,
it's gonna
absolutely.
feel like.
Yep.
Like, it's so
Go,
smart.
go stand on it. I can say one other thing too is
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to participate in a private dinner event that was held by the Arvory team here, and they had the whole place decked out. So when you first walked in the doors, they saw two people on race car chairs, which were of course having dynamic motion and moving as you were playing the simulator, and if they had a screen so people could see what the people in the VR were seeing, and that's the first thing you were introduced to when you walked in. And then you go downstairs, you've got people wearing VR backpacks doing different, type experiences. They're actually custom experiences made by the team, but they've got planks on the ground. And, when you're walking across the plank, you've got a fan that blows you in the face. And some of the experiences had...
That's cool. Like proof of
Yeah,
Oh,
they had
yeah.
misdirection walking, so you're always walking around the room, and the person in VR never feels like they're hitting a wall or turning around. They're just always doing circles.
Oh,
That's
I love that.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
such
Yeah,
a
me and my buddy-
fantastic
Yeah,
Yeah,
effect.
so
awesome.
every
Building a little,
every
like,
experience
mobile
they
version
do
of that.
never has the
Yeah, those are
person
cool.
coming out of the world. At some point they're walking down a
Nice.
circular staircase or different things, and
No.
it just yeah. So and then of course you get down to the basement. And they've got Oculus Go's everywhere. They've got people doing tilt brush, and then of course we had a mixed reality session with Beat Saber going, and yeah. When you're walking into a place like that, and especially for people for the first time to see VR, rather than just seeing one thing, it's really great to see kind of the future of what things can be, because I mean I do see more and more people having experiences or even meetings. Just there's just so many ways to use tools, whether it be for architecture or for selling boats or for anything like that. Using VR, so it's
Absolutely.
going to be more prevalent.
Yeah, it's just we're gonna have to get the games off. Like, I mean, I know that I love games, don't get me wrong, and I was talking about this the other day, but you're right, there's so many other use cases for VR that are so much better than gaming. We're just like, gaming's, I guess, the way to like get it in to the
No, it
general
is.
public.
It's the gateway, you know. So
yeah, it's the gateway.
Well, historically, porn's
well,
the gateway.
Yeah, and we're getting
I
there
don't
too.
know,
I've
it's
heard like
been there.
over. If you talk
I've
to
heard
one dude,
you could also
what's
do
guy?
that.
maybe, you know. I mean,
the Japanese VR dude.
God.
He told me that over there they have booths galore.
Oh,
it's
dude,
crazy.
I'm sure
like
it's
out in
rampant.
the. Oh yeah. So it's only a matter of time before it gets here. But I agree with you, dude. It's nuts. Yeah, and that's that'll push it even further. That's something I don't think AR will. Be able
hell
to do.
no.
Very perfectly. You know what I mean? Not for a little while, for like more years down the line. And then when that happens, that's when VR will probably die, when you can just like put them on and there's a real person in your room. But at that point, that'll be God knows how long.
That's not going to cause VR to die. That's going to cause humanity to be wiped out. I think.
Oh yeah.
There'll be no reason to date anymore.
Or like the point where I'm waiting for that day where you can just like alter, like wear AR goggles and alter just everyone around you the way they look.
There you
like,
go.
Like everybody
Just make them slightly
there
more
you
attractive. I'm going to dial
exactly.
up the
Like
attractive
everyone.
level.
World filter.
Or it's just really too bright out and you're just like, I just want to dim the sun a little bit today.
That's so awesome.
Everybody wears glasses or lenses that have.
yeah.
Well, it's
Like,
funny
far
you talk about that. You talk about kind of the future of VR. I noticed, and I should do a shout out to Road to VR because they wrote a very interesting article. I think it was published today where they're just it's a top 10 list, and I know they're a bit of a cheap kind of win, aren't they? Top 10 list, but it's top 10 projects that get excited about the next generation of VR and AR. And actually, number one on there is the Oculus Half-Dome prototype. And I know it's a very old thing now, but the more I read about that, the more I realise actually that's probably going to be the next tethered Gen 2, as in version. Well, what are we on now? CV1. It'll be the CV2 most likely for next year.
You're right. It's genius the way the like.
I think it's
the
great.
varifocal lenses. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, and they increased.
I hadn't realised
that.
I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
You can
it's
create
quite
true
phenomenal.
depth of field.
Yeah,
So segue that into
Yeah,
the hand tracking we saw on Oculus, on Reddit today. So
and eye
so you've
tracking.
got-
We need real eye tracking too.
They're gonna
if
have
they wanna
eye
keep up
tracking,
with this, like,
hand tracking.
FOV stuff.
So, see, that's really
I'm
gonna help
down
with
for eye
immersion.
tracking. That's what I want. Eye tracking.
I think it'll be.
It's
cool.
gonna help with immersion.
Agreed, especially those games that like look at
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, even like there's little things like think about like for example you shoot a bow and then you look to where the arrow's going to go. You know you can just do all kinds of different things with eye tracking. And,
well, I mean,
I've
just
seen
little things like NPCs being able to like make perfect eye contact with you.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the
that's
game
where it
changer.
exactly.
immersion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already kind of cool when like NPC's head follows you if you like lean over.
Okay, so-
look at you.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
those are cool. The games
I mean,
that
yeah.
do that well,
imagine.
it's nice. I've
So
spent
you've
time
got
doing
that. They're locking eyes with you. They have an AI back end. You know, something like similar to Watson, and you're having natural conversations with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so close to like
Yeah. Greg and I talked about that a lot, like with the next, because a long time ago, that's what Bethesda was saying. It's like tech's not there yet. We've constantly were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be.
I mean,
AI driven.
just playing Skyrim.
Actual AI.
I was gonna say even playing Skyrim with that Dragon Speaks Naturally mod just kind of blows me away. Walking into towns and talking to NPCs. So it's taking it to that next level with eye tracking, and they're able to I mean facial tracking. I mean all of that combined takes it a step further.
It's going to be really creepy too, by the way, for all the
cool.
horror.
It is going to be
experiences.
creepy, yes.
It's going to be really creepy.
That to me that caters more to like gamers than more like additional things like hand tracking and things like that. Because like I've been thinking about it, like I kind of miss the experience of just sitting down and playing VR and sit down VR experiences because it just gets old like having to do room scale all the time. Like I don't know if you guys ever feel that way, but like
where you
No,
wanna
I agree.
be them,
sometimes I
dude.
just want to grab a joystick and play a regular 2D game, but be able to just look in the game, like be in the game, but not just fully interactive. Like I don't need.
Cheesy moment for promotion. There is a game I know of that is sit down and you kind of play a 2D game and you don't have to move.
Yeah.
And you might even see a cool group of guys that are featured there.
Wait, hold on.
Check it out.
No, but Billy,
Pixel
dude, I
Rift,
had that exact thought the
1989.
other
That's
day.
right.
And that's why I was playing like a platformer, because I was just like, yeah, I don't want to have to walk around my room or like stand up. I just kind of want to like chill.
Yeah.
And PlayStation does have a lot more games like that, just because of the honestly the limitations of the tracking. But I agree with you. I think that there has to be more seated stuff in the future, because like not everybody can play.
There you go.
Right. I would give anything to play co-op again, like Dying Light, if it was, you know, with a high resolution headset instead of, I don't know, whatever full room scale game. Like, it's just getting old. Like, I miss when we used to like be able to jump into these 2D games but feel like you're still spatially in that game, but just not have to walk around.
I've got to say this week I've played probably several hours of Left 4 Dead 2. I actually have not played any VR this week. How bad's that? I've been playing Left 4 Dead 2.
I thought that was your
which,
kid
let's face
playing.
it, how old is that game now?
Yeah,
No, we were playing together.
Like
We were
8 years,
playing like family gaming.
Pretty, see, I've played quite a bit of Left 4 Dead 2 in the
That's
last
probably
couple
longer
months
than
as
that.
well. So that's it's kind of.
I love that.
I love
game.
it.
Yeah,
God of
you
War.
can't.
It's a great
That game's
game.
always
I've
good.
been all VR.
Massive.
2009. That's crazy.
2009. Wow, that's getting really old now. And for God's sake, why don't they make that VR? I would pay so
who knows?
much money.
Maybe it's one of the mystical
for a VR
free
version of that.
mystery titles that.
Yeah.
Oh God! If they said Left 4 Dead 3 was a VR game, I would literally wet
I
myself.
can say
again.
I played Left 4
Right.
Dead in big screen, and I brought the screen real close and kind of surrounded myself with it, and I felt kind of like I was in VR with it. I mean, to the point to where when I heard the sound, I wanted to look behind me all the time, and I was. Yeah.
No, I mean I've been
Yeah,
doing
that's
that
great.
with a lot of old
Yeah,
games. I
Cinema
mean
Man's fun
that's
for that.
actually something that a lot of people don't touch on is the ability to go into something like big screen and play your 2D games, or if you know they have even if they're 3D. I mean you can play stereoscopic 3D games on an IMAX size screen. I mean it's freaking insane.
Well, it's a way to play with your friends without being
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Because I was specifically doing big screen because I wanted to. I mean, we could easily just jump in and play Left 4 Dead over over
Well, it's
the
like-
internet,
it's
but
like-
we wanted to be
it's
with
like-
each other and high five each other.
Well, yeah, it's old school LAN party right there in VR. I mean, everybody's got their own monitor. You're
Yeah, which
sitting
is
next to
pretty
your
awesome.
buddies. I mean, yeah. So, you know,
And then when you die, you can look over at their screen and be like, "Oh, that's what I missed."
yeah, exactly.
Yep, that's what I
Exactly.
meant.
That's what I missed.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cinema mode aspect is really cool, and I like all these like if you notice like the new home update.
Well, actually, yeah, that I
Yeah,
wanted
too,
to I wanted to talk about that. I
which
was
is pretty
I was
cool.
off all week, you know, so that
So you
dropped.
guys
And
been
I haven't even
involved?
tried it yet.
Frank?
Oh, it's awesome, dude! You can put
Yeah.
little screens.
Yeah,
in
I did
anywhere.
test out the screens, but that
And
was
you
a day
The
before.
movement sucks though.
Have you had people come visit you?
No, I tried to invite one of you guys that were on, but you didn't
So we need to
respond.
do
So I was
that.
like,
We need to do that.
boring.
Actually, Frank, I apologize. I think that was me, and I was like I said, I
Oh,
was
that might have been you.
I was
Yeah,
traveling.
no, dude, you're fine. You're fine.
I didn't
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
to diss
no,
you,
and
man.
That's cool. That's cool.
No.
And I didn't even mean that in
No,
any
yeah,
mean way. But yeah, no.
You can
'cause
put
it's-
huge
the
screens.
movement they really
Uh-huh.
gotta
just
fix because the
super
movement still
depressed
sucks.
Yeah, the
today.
movement.
Well, I
you can
think-
finally.
Yeah, right. No, I think you can have like what 8 people in there.
8 people. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it.
So I need to
And
clean my room
everybody's
up.
just, like,
I'm gonna do
shooting
it. I'm
arrows.
gonna clean my room up. I keep saying that, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna.
Dude, your
Your room
is
is
nuts.
so
It's
bad.
just like opened up every
You guys
box
don't
and
even
just threw
know,
it
okay?
everywhere.
Right, and
I made a video when it was still clean.
I'm just throwing it out there. Anybody who wants
Terrible.
to go visit my house. My house is immaculate. So, just saying.
Ooh.
I gotta check yours out. Yep, I tried to. I
I
organized
even like
mine
built
one night,
walls.
and
I have
since
like a
then I have
dining
not.
room and a living room and a.
I might have
yeah.
checked yours out
So-
actually. I think I've seen it. And you have a little like room
Oh
off
yeah,
to
no,
the side.
I do.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Some of
Yeah.
them are cool. I can't wait until you really can't have. A
Oh
full
yeah,
house, so that'll be
absolutely.
sick.
Like The Sims.
I'm
Tokyo's Home
telling
will
ya.
be The
Oh
Sims.
yeah, like Sims for
Yeah,
sure.
or PlayStation Home. Was
Yeah.
that the?
Have you played a game yet?
Yeah, PS
No.
Home tried. We
Just
need
an
something
Oculus
again
Home?
That would be
like that, 'cause
sick if
PS Home was pretty
PlayStation
cool.
did that again for VR. They're
They're working on it, and it's been in production since like 2 years ago. But I think they know that if it's not right, there's
Yeah.
no
Exactly.
PlayStation Home in development for like 10 years, and
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like,
oh, yeah.
it's not working. Let's just scrap it.
It's still not
Every-
working. Yeah, because it's got to be just right. And the interactions in VR, like, especially because you know how uncomfortable you can
Oh,
make people
yeah.
feel in VR, like, versus just normal
Yeah.
games. And so I think they know that they got to, like, get it right.
PlayStation is the
Especially after
stingiest.
they've seen what happened with VR chat. Yeah, PlayStation's a
They
little
are they
tight
are
when it
by
comes to stuff.
far the stingiest company when it comes to regulations, and for good reason. They've got more user base to piss off, I guess. potentially.
They have a possibility of 80 million, exactly.
Yeah, so but
plus
man,
more with older
it
stuff.
is difficult to do anything for them when it comes to VR. But no, maybe maybe that's a good thing overall. But eventually there's going to be this PS5 that's going to come out. It's going to push the limits. I think that'll help out.
Couple years, I think. At
Yeah.
least, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, they'll overtake PC just like consoles overtake PC before. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of it's just ease of use. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love PC now, and I don't think it's really that hard to use. But when something breaks, I'm just kind of shit out of water if I can't find something.
Yeah.
on
I'm
Reddit.
gonna agree with you when it comes to an all-in-one
And,
device. If you're somebody who owns a business or even you're doing something where you want to buy something for VR, you don't want to buy a PC. You want to buy a device that's made and runs VR specifically, especially if it's going to be cheaper overall. So
Yeah,
that's
ease of
that's
use.
for
Yeah,
sure.
we were gonna do that with the VR medical company I'm working with. The PS, that's what everybody was agreeing on, was using PSVR and a PS4
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah, it's
cleaner
just
too
easier.
and easier to use.
It's quicker setup.
It's 2 wires versus like 18 plus sensors, and you have to make sure you have plugs. Like, it's not that
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
I know
18
people make it seem like PC is like the hardest thing on earth to like set up, but
It's like
it is.
40 different USB plugs you have to have.
Oh,
Yeah,
know,
yeah. But the thing is, once. Oh, please,
I
Caleb,
was just
go.
going to say, I'm just adding to what you're saying there. We were about to do this private event, and they brought me 6 towers. And, of course, the people that bought them were like, don't worry, we got, like, good graphics cards in these. And I asked, well, how much memory? Of course, only 8 gigabytes. I want 16 at least. And then I go to turn the computers on. I'm like, well, so there's not Windows on these? They're like, Windows. It's like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, we had to install
Because it just magically
You
works
have to,
when
like,
you plug
set
it
the
in.
entire
Yeah.
thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We bought really nice computers. They work, right?
Yeah.
Like, no. Where's the monitors? Where's
once
the
it's
plugs?
set
Where's
up,
the
it's
mice? Where's the
easy.
keyboards? And they're like, I don't know what you need.
Oh my god, yeah, it's nuts, dude. But yeah, but no, dude, once it's set up, it's honestly easier to jump into the Vive than it is the PlayStation VR. But that initial setup of PlayStation is so easy.
Yeah.
Super plug and play.
Yeah, so much. But I do like the Steam VR. You just hit the little VR option, and it's just like you're on. But then you get driver errors, or then you get the thing where it tells me I'm not. I don't even know, dude. Like, it's just some days it just doesn't work, and then I turn it off and on, and then it just works perfectly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't blow in the cartridge.
Yeah,
Before.
there you go.
No, you
right?
can't anymore. Exactly.
That's what I do. The USB and the HDMI ports.
I do. I do that sometimes too. I pull the USB in and out. I'm like, maybe if I just unplug it in and out.
Surely this will fix it.
Well, obviously that's always been the fix. You know.
Works. That's why they pay you the
Yeah.
big bucks.
Yep.
Oh man.
So, has anyone heard anything more about the Pimax 8K? Just to switch subjects a little bit.
Oh, I heard it went into production.
Yeah, that's what I heard as
nothing.
well.
I-
I mean,
I don't
is
believe
this?
in it.
I mean,
Went
because we all
into production?
experienced the 4K, and the 4K was
Mass
like
production.
probably one of the most. Yeah,
Four-
it was a
4K
depressingly
was a
bad device.
great headset for movies as long as you didn't move your head.
Yeah,
It-
exactly.
They did have a lot of pixels.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's not.
There was
that
a lot of
great.
pixels in there.
Yeah.
What? I thought 8K was already they were already supposed to mail those out.
No,
Like by
they
now.
sent out
From-
like 8
from what
test
I've
units
heard.
worldwide to like
Oh.
selected,
Linus Tech.
Yeah, I think like Sweeviver got one, and like,
What?
yeah, a couple of the Daydream District I think was another one, but
You can see them using it every day too.
yeah, but those were all under heavy NDA, so obviously those guys couldn't really
Yeah.
talk about it, and it was to kind of iron out the final bugs before they went into production. And what I read is that obviously they gave the green light and they have put it into production supposedly. So more to
Be
come
happy
on
to see
that.
one.
Yeah. So I mean, if it works,
the
hey, if it
difference?
works,
I only just heard it's not an 8K
well,
headset.
it's not
I
an
know
8K.
this sounds like old. It's old
not
news,
an
I
8K
guess. It's not actually an 8K
headset. No, it's
headset.
dual 4K screens. So the 8K is definitely a marketing ploy.
4K.
The other thing is this wide field of view. They've actually I think made it to where you can now put it down to 170 to have better compatibility with some games
back.
and some stretching and things like that. So
You see, that would be my issue is
Exactly.
compatibility. Is like, so you get this fancy headset, but how many games?
Yeah, can I
play on
plug it
And
into
how
the
many devs
PS4?
are really gonna go out of their way? Yeah,
no.
No, not at all. Yeah, how many devs are going to be like, oh, we're going to go out of our way to support this thing that like 200 people have? Like, I'm sure some will, but on the whole, like, I don't know. I I think the big three is who it's better to stick with at this moment in time. I mean, even Windows Mixed Reality, I heard people have a lot of issues with a lot of games.
Don, you have that one, don't you?
Yeah, Acer sent me one of their headsets, and I do. I busted
that the
out.
high-end one?
I mean, well, they only make one. It's the AH101.
No, I mean.
There's
the Odyssey's the highest end.
No, that's Samsung. Yeah, but no,
okay.
For what it is, it's not bad. And with the latest Windows update that just came through, I think it's the Spring Creators update. It actually got pretty solid. The tracking is decent. The resolution bump is noticeable. The lenses, however, I don't know. You get a lot of blurring in the peripheral. You definitely still have
you used
some
it more than
rays.
10 times?
I have used it almost 10 times. Now I'll tell you what I do like it for. Is I fired up Elite Dangerous with it, and the increase in the resolution and the reduction in the God rays was kind of nice. So and then you're not having to worry about the inside out tracking because you're not really tracking controllers. I'm using a HOTAS, so I'm really just using the headset for positional tracking of the headset and just the increased clarity. So, for simulator people, the Windows Mixed Reality, I think that makes sense. You're not going to break the bank. You are going to get a resolution bump. So
looks like I tried the HP one. That's the one I tried, right, Don?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got like all the headsets.
I've heard good things.
They've got the.
I haven't heard bad things. I just haven't heard the best.
So I haven't tried the Windows Mixed Reality headsets at all. They have a couple at Arvery, so I really need to do that. And they've also got the HTC Vive with the Tobii eye tracking, which I haven't tried yet either. So I'm gonna have to try those things and get back to you on those. But I guess the one thing is the Tobii eye tracking. It's just a built-in
I don't know
sensors that are in there. Yeah. You haven't heard of Tobii, man? Come on, it's a GDC.
Man.
Yeah.
It's a GDC, man.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh yeah, when I was there, I completely forgot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You should. You was bound the big center, next to Servios. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Over there by that one thing that was over by that other thing. Yeah.
By our friends at Servios.
I loved that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Which I do want to also say, because Frank, I don't think I really asked you much about that, but you went on like a little trip to California. Was that recently and saw some studios? Or?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm rocking the Creed shirt right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. The studio over there was pretty awesome. They had a nice setup. They had so many people working. I was really surprised in VR. And they have 3 more games that they have unannounced right now that they're working on. 2 of which get me very, very excited. The other one will be cool, but 2 of which get me very excited for future VR stuff.
I mean,
but they're doing like big stuff.
What company?
You know what I mean? They're doing crazy
Servios.
Servios, man.
So I know they're working on
smart.
Apollo Creed, the one with MGM Studios, and that one obviously is fun to play. I got to play it. It looks really good. They've also got Electronauts, which is the music maker, which I love. Electronauts, one of my favorite. And then
Electronauts is really fun. Creed
you said
is really
3 other
fun.
on top of that we don't know about.
Yeah, they have 3 other balls they're juggling. Plus, they're still pushing updates for Sprint
Right.
Vector, and
Raw data.
I don't know how much they're still working on raw data.
Raw data's pretty much
they
finished.
still got raw data in the mix too.
Great game.
But you got to remember they have all the like big movie stuff. You know what I mean? Which is cool, and that's what they had. They also did the arcade version of what was that? That terrible one, the Jungle Book or something.
Oh yeah,
Rampage, not Rampage. One of those. They did like a terrible arcade thing. So, but they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot of VR, which is cool. And when you go there, like to see like 80 people working constantly in VR with like Rifts, Vives, a little PlayStation VR room, it's cool to see. Like they were a busy VR studio. I've seen some smaller ones with like 15 people and like 10 people, and it's fun to see like smaller studios. But it's really cool to see like a bigger studio.
Yeah,
working on
absolutely.
VR. And that was nice. Yeah.
So futuristic.
Because it's like, oh hell yeah, people are making games.
yeah. Playing them and making them at the same time, man, that's gotta be a cool place to see. So.
Yeah, and that's the big thing you hear is nobody gets to play any games anymore. I was like, oh, well, you guys play this? Have you checked this out? Like this new mechanic that I checked? And they're like, no, we don't get to play any games.
Right. Well, I guess talking about events and future things, I do want to. We got OC5 coming at the end of September. I'm wondering what we're gonna see there, and hopefully maybe another update on the Santa Cruz. We talked.
Are you going, C-Lab?
The plan is I would love to go. I would love. I don't have everything figured out just yet, but my plan is to go if I can. So yeah. Well, how about you guys? Anybody else try to go?
I want to so bad, but geez, there's just probably no way.
Right, you got to start planning like now.
You got to start planning like a year in
Exactly,
advance.
dude.
You
Yeah,
know, it's like
right.
the cost of travel from the Midwest out there and back, and tickets, and so nope,
Yeah,
probably not.
yeah.
We'll work
here.
for trip
I mean,
to
the
Oculus
East Coast.
Connect. Just saying. You know.
Right. So,
Yeah, I'm East Coast, exactly. It's even worse. I mean, it's only like a 4-hour plane ride, but like lodging and transportation when you get there and all that is just kind of like.
It is better that it's in San Jose as opposed to like L.A. or San Francisco. It's a little better for the wallet, that's for sure. As far as pricing and finding places to go. Shoot, even Frank, when I saw you was going to PAX in Boston, and man, just finding a place in Boston was not easy. A week before.
Oh, dude, I agree.
Man,
yeah, unless you're wanting to go to like stay in a terrible neighborhood with an Airbnb, then like by all means you can find somewhere in no time.
30
But
minutes
I agree
away.
with you. Yeah, it's hard to find places. Yeah.
Man. So yeah, but that is something that's coming up soon. So hopefully we can go do that. But the more important thing for me is hopefully that there's good stuff to be there. I know last year Echo Arena was kind of one of the big things, and this year Echo Combat I assume is going to be something they'll show off quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh, and what's it called?
Yeah,
Got
the Unspoken.
Unspoken.
Yeah,
tournament
they're
has been
gonna do.
saved.
It's been saved.
Yes,
huh?
it has been. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
They
gonna get
were.
rid of it.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to
So what is it?
Gone.
Now they're gonna take like the top 5 players, and I think they're gonna
they're
fly them
flying
out to
there,
OC5.
they're doing everything
yeah,
for
so.
'em.
And then
I
they're-
do have something to say
It's
about
pretty nice.
Unspoken, and I like Unspoken a lot. I actually
love
played
that
the
game.
tournament. Won the regional on the East Coast, actually, before I had to play Charizard again. The game's a great game, but I'm going to say they should never have a tournament and then take it away from the players. So
No,
I'm glad that it's
never.
continuing. So I'm 100% on board with them continuing the tournament. I will say that the numbers being low, like they talked about, is 100% true. When I played the game like a year ago, there was the same. There was the same 15 people always. So let alone 6 months ago when I played, even when I jumped in, then I boom right back in a match with the same freaking guy that I was playing with before. And it's like, oh, it's the same guys playing this over and over again, which is unfortunate because the game is a great game.
No, it's awesome.
It's just I think because
It's
so many
just,
people got good at it.
I don't think it's intuitive enough to pick up right away.
And the
That's
thing is,
the
they
issue.
updated it, and their updates actually made it less and less intuitive. The first version had simpler characters, had less things to worry about. And the more characters they added, the more specialties they added, the more maps they added with these different specialties, the more it compounded somebody, who was jumping in for the first time, how much they had to learn. And you can't learn all that, especially when your only player base is kicking your butt so ferociously. So
Well, they I was gonna say they
campaign, I
did.
think, came
Yeah,
way
I was
too
gonna say
late
they
as
should have
well.
started and had that single player campaign from the beginning.
right.
I like
love
the
the
campaign. I
campaign.
thed it showed me what to
Yeah.
do and where to go.
You play it as a
exactly, and then
long
just when I
tutorial.
first
I
jumped in,
mean,
I
yeah,
thought,
it kind of gets you ready
Yeah,
to play
exactly.
against other people. So
I played it up until they added more things, and I was already kind of a new guy jumping in when I was doing the tournaments and just kind of getting my head around how everything worked at that time. And then of course there was some updates that happened right afterwards, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna bow out now.
Yeah.
Let you guys continue your little friendly match together. So no, it is a great game though.
Speaking tournaments, sorry. Did you Onward tournament happened, and that's pretty cool. That's a big deal.
Nice.
First ever.
Yeah, first ever Onward tournament. What the winner get? What was the big shebang there? I don't know much about that.
Some kind of prize money.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but not bad for playing VR for a day. And I
Winner.
think they probably flew him out there.
Chicken the dinner. Nice. Yeah, I've seen that they're doing competitions for Beat Saber now as well. Now that they've got, it's.
Why not?
Yeah,
right?
they say what game are they not going to do a competition for? If you can, I mean, there's a score.
And there's 3. Aren't there still 3 more unannounced ESL games?
I think so.
I think. So I read
Oh,
somewhere.
I don't.
Yeah. So who knows? I'm hoping Pavlov gets picked because I'm massacring Pavlov.
Ooh.
I would love to play that.
Yeah, I think
one.
we all.
But,
like that one. That's for sure.
God, that one's so much fun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just Onward's just so much it's just too
I
difficult.
think out of all of us.
Can we jump in some Pavlov
Yeah,
after
I was gonna
this?
say,
That'd be great.
I'm all down for
Oh
doing
man,
that.
I would love to jump in a little bit later. Yeah,
As
for
long as
sure.
you guys come to my house
Yeah.
and tell me how beautiful it is.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, as long as we just play pool, it's like we play the pool map just all day. I love that
Oh,
one. And you could see everyone that hates
Oh,
it so
yeah.
much.
Oh man, we had a lot of fun last time we played that. I remember. I just like
There's some
That's a
great
long
new
time
ones.
ago, and
I
it was
played
great.
a
I
Minecraft
really-
one
it's brilliant,
yesterday that
yeah.
was awesome.
nothing like getting shotgunned by
There
your
you go.
buddy.
Yep.
No, dude, there's some just great maps on there, and I think that's what it is. Every time I jump in, there's new ones. They got like GoldenEye maps on there.
You got the facility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. And the office on there, the high quality one, is just so beautiful. Like I feel like I'm like in an office space. It's
so
nuts.
what's funny is after playing Pavlov in the facility, and then I actually played some 007 at a little arcade bar here, and it was like, no, it's just not as good as I remember it. So VR is
it's just
better.
much better in
Pavlov's
VR. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we need to do throwing knives in that room. Throwing knives only.
Oh yeah, I like the knife
Slappers
ones.
only.
Those matches are pretty fun. And then people just end up throwing grenades all the time. But yeah, dude, we got to play some Pavlov. That's a great multiplayer. That one's one that proves that communities exist. Same with Onward. You know what I mean? Whenever I jump in, there are people playing those games.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
You gotta have the community with you. There were some people messaging just recently talking about, do you ever feel lonely when you're playing VR games? It's like, no, because I play mainly social VR games. And Echo Arena.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah,
I mean,
Arena's always busy too.
I think I wrote an article about it, but yeah, that I honestly don't like playing non-multiplayer VR games now. I do feel quite lonely in single player stuff. It just
isolated.
Yeah, it's quite isolating. It's
Very
weird.
isolated.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah, dude, social VR is so fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I played some Echo Arena last night, and I was thinking I would actually jump in and do some lone Echo, and then I just stayed in Echo Arena because the friendliness of the people. That's what it was. It kept me there. So no,
Yeah, that's what Rec Room does. It's like, oh man, I don't have time. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll play
just
more.
a little longer.
I get.
You've been doing a lot of Rec Room,
Dude, I
Rec
get-
Royale stuff, so I want to know.
Dude, I get hit hard when I play too. Like every little kid, like I get surrounded in a corner. If it wasn't for teleport, I would just be locked in position when I play Rec Royale. But it's fun and it's great because like when I played sports and stuff when I was younger, nobody ever wanted to play with me. So it's nice to like be in a game. People are like, "Oh, Frank, man, we can't wait to play with you." And so I'm like, "Okay, I'll play one more. I'll play one more." And it's like 2 hours pass.
It's nice to give that to somebody.
Rather be the last guy picked for the
Right.
sports
Oh,
team.
always, dude.
Oh,
Always.
I'm in
always.
goal
There's a
again,
whole
am
video
I?
on that soon. But yeah,
That's quite
and it's
funny.
not that way in VR because nobody
Yeah.
knows. You know what I mean? Everybody's just like, yeah, it's great, man.
Everyone assumes you're athletic. I think your athleticism in VR increases with the number of subscribers.
There you
you've
go.
got, I think.
There you go.
Oh, for sure, dude. They all just
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you're like Rambo. And you do bad, it's just like, oh, he's just having a bad day. It's okay.
So
And I don't rage, so they're just like, oh, okay, he's all right.
go ahead. Can you run me through what is a typical Rec Room Royale match like, and how long does that last?
Oh, you haven't
I
played it
haven't.
yet,
I
kid?
have not. I have not.
Oh, dude, you're
I
missing
know
out.
I'm
So it
missing
can
out.
last really as long as you want. You just pop into a room, you pop onto a bus with a bunch of people. I think it's 16, and you get a hang glider and you get a map, and you just launch onto the map, and it's like any other Royale game. And bees slowly swarm in on the map and make it smaller and smaller and
Bees.
smaller and smaller.
Bees.
Bees that play dubstep.
Bees that play
Bees.
dubstep. Okay.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Sure.
Makes sense.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
because why not? Yeah, dude. But no, it's fun, and it's really good to squad up. Like,
Okay.
it's fun to like get a couple buddies and just like dominate the map and just go. It's just great, dude. And communication's
Nice.
great, and it's not laggy, and it's a good game, man.
I gotta say, I love the whole battle royale stuff, and Rec Royale is absolutely fantastic. I completely agree. It's just such a fun game. I've been playing that with my son, and I mentioned it on the last cast, I think, and it's just such a fun thing to play now. And it's sort of kid friendly, but it doesn't. It's like all Rec Room stuff. It's also kid friendly, but it's not to the point where you feel like as an adult, this is weird. Me playing this game.
Oh, yeah.
it's,
No, not
it's
at all.
just it's just so polished and so lovely.
Oh yeah, the other day I was down. It was just me and two other little German kids, and the map had gotten so small, and I was up on like a rock, and I was hiding behind a cliff, so they couldn't hear me. And I see the two kids just like passing me down on the floor, and I was like, oh man, I got them. And from above, I just like killed these two little kids, and you just feel so bad, but like you can play it so tactically, and you can like hide in the bushes and just like destroy children in VR, and it's fun, and at the same and I get done, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you guys, but it was just such a great feeling, like hiding on this ledge in VR and just ruining these kids' day.
Installing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
dude,
Installing,
it's
yeah.
that-
You have
I
me
was
at
gonna
ruining
say, there
kids'
you
days.
go. Yeah.
For once, we get to ruin the
Kids'
kids' days.
Let me
See,
install this.
So I'm gonna jump in there and they're just gonna start destroying me, and I'm gonna feel really bad.
No. But there's a lot of like bad players, and there's a lot of players that don't play like tactical, and they're just and the voice is really well. You can really hear people from like far away. So I like Rambo it up in the bushes, and like hear them like chatting over to the left, and I'm like, okay, I can just wait. I hear them coming close. And it's just, they did it. Honestly, the Rec Room team is just really killing it, man. Especially they got a new Gizmos update, and I've seen people making like their own like race car like games. Like it's turning out to be such a awesome
adding the
game.
creator tools was huge. So
yeah.
So Pavlov or that one? Which one are we playing after this podcast? Gotta give it
Cool.
We should squad up. We should squad up in some Rec Royale. I'll play that. All 4 or 5 or 6 of us. I don't even know how many there are.
That'd be
here.
great.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Okay, I will.
Cool.
We'll get it going. So, no.
Yeah, we'll get it going. We'll put a stream on.
There's a few other things that have happened in the news lately. I'm not sure. Have you guys been checking Reddit for your news source, or what's your main news source for VR right now? Kind of interested in what you guys.
I still surf Reddit every day.
Mainly Reddit.
I mean, our Oculus and our PSVR,
or Google.
all of it,
Sometimes Google, because you can find foreign articles.
Yes,
just translate
Wrote to VR sometimes.
Google knows.
Yeah.
Google knows that I like VR, so it definitely gives me some props on that. It randomly tells me about VR and Bitcoin all the time. It's weird. I've got that, and I think Road to VR is one of the good ones for me. Reddit is obviously a nonstop place for news for myself as well. Just always curious to where people are seeing it from. There's also VR Bytes. Hey, VR Bytes.
Yeah.
Good place. Yeah.
Facebook is alright, to be honest.
Not
every now and again, you'll
upload
find some
VR.
good stuff.
Not upload
No,
VR.
Upload
yeah.
what?
No, what? Those? Nope.
They're dead to me.
You already gave them more of a promotion than I was going to, my friend. No.
They're dead to me.
Yeah, but no, dude, even Twitter.
No,
honestly, most of the devs are pretty on there all the time, and you'll get I get new trailer info on Twitter before it's ever on Reddit too.
I mean, if you have a good collection of people you're following there, I mean, you're gonna get really good news feed there. So.
Oh yeah, immediately. Like my entire feed is just
Same.
VR. I don't have any
same.
politics. I don't have
Same.
any BS. All it is VR. Yep, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's like Twitter like allows you to like create your own like bubble even more so in the world. Like I don't have to. If anybody like tweets about politics, I'm like mute them.
Yep.
Yeah. I disagree with your
Don't
opinion.
care.
Mute.
See ya.
Yeah, no. I think mine is so well tuned now. I just go on there, it just shows me everything I want to know, everything I want to see. I don't see any
just what
upload
you care
VR
about. It's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
great.
Well,
Mute all
man,
that bollocks.
but the Fridays are killing me, you guys. Like with the Follow Fridays, I love them, but I feel like I just get 90
you.
notifications of nothing.
yeah.
And I don't think it really is doing any good
Last-
to like. I mean, it might be doing good. I don't know, but on the whole, it's just like, oh my god, it's so
Penny's
overwhelming.
like that. She goes, "Why is your phone vibrating so much?
Oh,
Why is
yes.
your phone vibrating?" Oh, it's Friday,
It's-
and somebody obviously
Yeah.
tagged me.
It's nice and it's cool,
Yeah.
and I like it, because we all like it.
It's
At
awesome.
the same time, it does feel like at this point, almost like who wants to, randomly hit as many people as they can. I don't know. It's just.
God, dude, I saw somebody do
Bit
one
of
the other day that was like, I love these Follow Fridays, but a big shout out to all the VR devs, and they linked 98 like names. Like it was just like, are you kidding me, dude? You linked that many people, and like it's just almost self promotion
exactly.
at a
Oh,
point.
yeah.
And like and somewhere where I feel like it's blurring that line. Like every now and again, I feel like people are doing it because they're being nice, but sometimes I think people are just like, hey, look at me, and here's some other people, and more attention. Pay attention to the fact that I'm like talking about these other people. and I hate that.
like me.
Oh,
Do it,
exactly,
do it, do
dude.
it.
I hate that.
Like, share,
Just be
subscribe.
like, if you're nice about someone, do it. But just
That is
don't-
that is
just
the
like-
world that we live in. You got to have a very fine balance of hey, pay attention because I have something I really want to say. At the same time, like pay attention if you'd like to, but you have to see me to know if you'd like to. So I'm trying to give you that option. No, it's
try to keep it interesting.
yeah, it's an interesting line to go, and I've got my own opinions about that line too. I think everybody should be awesome, and you should just show yourself. And if people like you, they will like you.
Yeah, dude, me too.
Exactly.
There you
People
go.
will love you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just be
what's
you,
up.
dude.
Exactly.
Mine is all just do whatever you want to do, just don't hurt anybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless they
You know
like
what I mean?
don't
Like
say
as long
anything.
as you're not hurting anybody, just do you,
Exactly.
bro.
Just do you.
Do you think?
Just do you.
Yep.
That's what I do. That's what I do with the channel. I got hate before, and now people love it.
Yeah, well, we love to hate, and so it's just one of those things. You just have to make sure that
be authentic.
Yeah.
Be authentic.
Don't
People
let
can
it
spot
affect
it.
you.
People can spot authenticism, and if you're kind of phony and a fake, people can spot that a mile off. They don't like it. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I
with
used to
that.
hate PSVR
Just have fun,
Frank,
dude.
and then just over time,
Oh,
I
yeah,
started to
yeah,
like
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, actually, he's
My kids love it.
Yeah.
That's like
get a lot
that's like
of
a really
those.
patronising, slightly
Down
condescending.
with the kiddo.
Oh yeah, PSVR. My children enjoy that channel. Me less, not so much. But
Talking
no,
about
it's
being
good.
yourself, the one game I know that lets you be yourself is Marvel Powers United, because they have so many characters. We can each. Okay, that's.
Oh my God, they're adding so
They're
many
adding
characters.
so many
to the
characters.
roster. And you can fight in Wakanda now.
I just
want
to know when the game's coming out.
Okay.
I just want to know when the game is coming out. I don't need more characters. I'm Thor
I
already.
call,
okay?
I call Iron Man. I'm just saying.
I'm Thor. Damn it.
All right, you're Thor.
Marvel
well, yeah,
Powers
you're
United.
definitely
We
Thor.
can play
dude. There's
multiplayer,
no
right?
I
doubt
have to
about
be
it that
because I
you're
get so
Thor.
much crap.
Yeah, exactly.
What game is it?
Marvel Powers United.
Marvel Powers.
They were showing it off at OC4 last year, and they said it's coming out this year sometime.
Sometime.
2018.
And it's online multiplayer
I think
only,
so.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think so too. is
You
what I
can
was
play with your
thinking,
friends,
yeah.
and they've got bad guys and good guys, and
Mm-hmm.
you just don't know.
My thing is though, VR. They're trying not to sell it to anybody under 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get the Marvel craze. I know that people really love it, but like that's who wants those games. Like kids under 12 and like 13 and 14-year-olds. And who the hell is whose dad is buying them like a $1,000 PC and a $500 Rift to play Marvel? Like no
rich
offense,
ones.
but yeah, exactly. Really rich ones. It's such a small percentage that it's just like they could be putting their money elsewhere. It's basically just a movie promo. Like I don't know. Sure, it'll be cool, but just come on, man.
Yeah, I sort of feel the same way as you, Frank. I think it's going to be a bit crap.
Hey.
I don't want to be like dissing it early, but it kind of looks crap
Here's what I
so
can
far.
say. Here's what I can say. I
think it will be
I
crap.
think that the game itself, the whole Marvel thing, I'm gonna agree completely with the bandwagon of Marvel and blah blah blah. Come on, we get it already. At the same time, I did get to meet the developers of this game, and I genuinely think they want to create a really cool game, and I think they're really they know what's going on here. They're scared that people are gonna hate it, so they're trying really hard to make it really cool. And so I've got some hope in me that it's gonna be awesome. When I played it a long time ago,
that's turned me a little bit.
The one nice
Okay.
thing was when like for example, everybody kind of has similar things, but I could jump up into a second level, which felt kind of weird. But I was flying and I could shoot people with lightning, or I could throw my hammer at them and then catch it back. And I mean, even that was fun. And every character has its own thing. So if you get bored of doing that, I can jump into a different character and use different superpowers, And if I get bored of that, I can jump into, So they have different characters with different abilities. And like when you jump into the little rodent, you're like you've got a big nose and you're like really tiny and your field of view is different. So it just the game.
No, agreed. And I'm sure it'll be cool, but past the initial like
Yeah,
wow
but
factor,
it'll be
right,
fun for a
where
week.
Yeah, it's got to have
there
some
we go.
gameplay.
Exactly.
In there as well, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We'll see how much people.
I saw
stick
chat the
into
other
it.
day, and other people talking about it too, and it made me think back to it. But that From Other Suns was such a good game.
Other Suns
You
is
know
a
what I
great
mean?
game.
And it was such like a really good online multiplayer game that it sucks that games like that aren't supported. But then we see giant hype behind like Marvel. Like,
Yeah, no.
I
From
mean,
Other
I don't
Suns is
know.
one of the better games. And you're absolutely right. One of the most underrated games I think
I
that
had a
came out
blast
this last
playing
year.
that game with you guys.
I want to
Oh,
jump
dude,
back
that
in.
game was so cool.
We're gonna play that
Yeah.
one not today because we're doing Rec Royale, but we'll definitely have to do that one somewhat soon. And
But we need to try to we can be
5
the people
minutes
hopefully in
remaining.
the future that have more pull, pushing what games are done. But I used to notice when I would play multiplayer PlayStation VR games, I could sway PlayStation. More people would play those games if I was online playing them. You know what I mean? So there's gonna have to be a certain point where we got to try to push a little bit of even the older content, because I feel like there's a big emphasis on new. But there's some
I
great
agree with that
stuff
100%. I
that's
mean, because
chilling.
as new people come into VR, I mean, they don't know about some of these hidden gems, man.
Star Trek VR was awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Where's my
Sons.
freaking
Werewolves
TNG
Within too.
DLC? Damn it.
We'll have to get everybody to download Oculus Runtime 0.4.
Yeah, there you go.
Get it to work.
Dust off your DK2s. We'll get
No, man. I was going through a box out in the garage. I found a whole bunch of old hard drives. I'm kind of thinking, I'm wondering if one of those is my repository from all the old Oculus Share days.
Oh, yeah.
No, Don, you did a really good job of just collecting and documenting all the SDKs, all the demos. You downloaded literally everything, and I honestly think, hang on to that stuff, right? Because that's like a digital archive, and it probably doesn't exist anywhere now.
Right.
I think this stuff is disappearing.
I've got every SDK. I do have that, but
I don't have all
Oh yeah,
SDKs are
people
still
think
up.
we're gonna
though,
have
aren't
it
they?
forever, and they just throw shit
I
on
don't think some of the
think they're
old
still-
ones.
not for long, Billy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I have some games on here, and then I think quite a few of the SDKs still. But
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's another thing. You guys, real quick. So, what do you think about like DK1, DK2s in the 50 years down the line? Do you think that they'll be collector's items?
I don't
50
know.
years? Yeah, maybe.
Possibly,
Not-
but
Yeah, no, not like anytime soon. I'm talking like when we have flying cars and we're living on Mars.
Maybe
'cause
DK1.
I've
I was gonna say
people that are, like-
DK1s maybe.
DK2 sold like 100,000.
You know,
more, didn't they?
any developer that
Okay.
got like an HD prototype, you know, or something like that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know, the ones
I'm
that
gonna go
were
ahead and say I
completely
think they
unreleased.
already are collector items. I think they.
do?
I think they are.
Yeah,
already
an
collector's
an
items.
I've seen
unopened
them go for, like,
DK1
nothing
is
before.
worth quite a bit. Like if you
Yeah,
find a
that's
sealed
true.
up
Oh, yeah.
one.
That's true.
I think I saw one sold on eBay.
I wish I would have
The
kept mine.
the moment they increased in value and didn't decrease in value, I think they're collector's items, and I think that they're already there. So, but as time goes on, man,
So
it depends on.
they're starting to turn now. They're starting to go up in price.
Yeah.
It depends on if the people of the world continue, or if if the lizards take over, and it depends. It just we don't know. We just don't. It's too early to tell.
Yeah,
I will
no,
bow
'cause
down
just
to our
wonder.
our,
So
our,
it's kind of
robot
like that.
overlords, but
Yeah.
Because I'm
So,
sure
Caleb,
nobody
how
even
long
thought
we got
their
left?
cars
you know,
would be
like
worth
3
that.
or
Well,
4
the-
minutes.
The thing is, as far as the podcast, we have just a few minutes. As far as the world, Chris, I'm just not sure.
As far as the
I don't
I'm
know.
just
I don't know
not sure.
about that.
I know America's got its
No.
limit because here in Brazil, everybody already has cages and fences in front of all their houses, so they're ready for the zombie apocalypse here. They are ready
Sweet.
for the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, we're ready down south, man.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
no, we're
Yeah, the South will rise
hell no,
again.
man.
with
Gonna-
the
I just got
apocalypse.
back from Louisiana shooting some AR-15s. Like there's a stocked gun locker
Exactly.
down there.
See, he knows.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
gun safety, folks. Make sure you put a lock
Yeah, we
on
ain't
your
scared.
guns and keep them away from children. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we're pretty much gonna go ahead and call the podcast. And anybody has anything they want to say, or if there's anything that was said in the comments last time that we didn't address, I just need to do a lot of things this next week, and I pretty much talked about the things I wanted to talk about, and I want to play games with you guys. So
Yep.
I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to end the podcast. Go
Just
ahead.
A quick note here.
Yeah.
The Servios website, if anybody's looking for a career, they've got a lot of job listings on there. So
they do.
A lot of
They're
good,
posting
good
a lot of
stuff
good
on
stuff there.
Oh,
Oculus also has
yes.
over 100 jobs available right now if you go to Oculus Careers.
But
Oculus does well.
Oculus, you don't want to work for them.
Oh,
If
shut
you-
your mouth!
If you're a programmer,
I want
if
to
you're a
work for
programmer
them.
and you live in Brazil, Harvard needs Brazilian developers.
Yep.
Sao Paulo.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I think once again that's another market we're gonna see pop up more in the future is way more VR people. So if anybody has not updated their LinkedIn
Oh, yeah.
profile, make sure you do, because I get searches like every other day
Oh,
just
yeah.
for VR
Yes.
stuff.
Right.
Oh my god. Well, it gets a
Like,
little
I mean,
bit
most
annoying
of it probably
though,
doesn't matter.
for me.
Yeah.
I feel like all of mine are like, are you looking for IT needs? We can supply those
Oh, God.
for you, like every single day. Like probably 4
I got some of those.
requests. Just like, I'm like, no, no,
Nope.
no,
Nope. That's the way it's going.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, guys, it was great talking to you guys about VR. Hopefully we
Absolutely.
can talk some more about it next week. Until then.
Yeah, it was awesome hanging out.
I love you.
Later.
Love you. Okay. All right.
Love you too, Billy.
It's
All
that
right.